It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Wylde Sky Brewing, and this is their Pacific Pale Ale. The beer is coming in at 4% ABV in a 330 milliliter can. Brewed on the Cambridge-Essex border, they're saying on the side of the can here, which is really, let me just quickly make sure I got that right. Oh, that was flipping flying out at me earlier on. Now I can't even see it. Cambridge, Essex, Suffolk border. Right. Okay, let's get the beer out into a glass, see what we get. Wylde Sky. I bet it's fantastic down there. I bet it's just wonderful. Cambridge. I've never been to Cambridge. I don't think I've ever been to Essex. I think I've been to, you see, Norfolk as well. Or Suffolk border. I think I might have been to Suffolk. But that was kind of Green King area. So we got a little bit of yeast here floating around. A little bit of sediment. Can you see that there in the glass? It's a straw-ish light coloured ale with a 2 to 3 finger white head. It's, I would say, very, very light amber in the colour. Let's get the aroma. So Pacific, we're talking New Zealand, Fiji, you know, that sort of area of the world, Australia. So you're picking up passion fruit, mango, grapefruit, orange peel. Smells really good. Light crisp malt as well coming through. And like a peppery, spicy kind of finish to it. It smells really good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, really juicy. Really very, very juicy. Ooh. And so very drinkable. Oh, that's lovely. That is really, really, really lovely. It's so... I don't talk about it enough, and I'm going to talk about it right now. It's the water quality of the beer. You can really taste the freshness. I'm not sure if it's... It definitely tastes very soft. The water is a very soft, drinkable, lovely... You just want to carry on drinking it, carry on supping this beer. Very soft water quality. Lovely. But then again, what I wanted to say, well, I was going to move on to how tropical the hops are. We will get to that moment, I promise you. But I first of all want to talk to you about that water, whether it's natural water that they've come across here, or it's the natural brewing water of the area, or they've treated the water. Now, I remember when we were interviewing the brewers at the Stone Crow Virtual Pub, I learned a very valuable lesson one night because I was interviewing Anarchy Brew Co. up in Newcastle. And they were telling me how they treat their water for their New England IPAs and their pale ales and their IPAs. They treat the water to become very soft. And they do that to make the hops shine. It's all about making the hops shine. You're paying a lot of money for hops in this day and age. In 2021, you're paying a lot of money for hops. So if you're going to pay a lot of money for hops, then everything else has to be right. The water has to be lovely and soft, drinkable and moorish. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because water, to some, water tastes like water, but you get hard water, you get soft water. You have to make the beer shine, you have to make the hop shine. And then of course you're talking about the malt, you're using really light malts in the beers. Again, you're just extracting some of the sugar from the malt. You don't necessarily want to pull a lot of flavour from the malt. And that all leads to a very lovely, soft, slightly sweet, very drinkable New Zealand style pale ale with flavours of passion fruit and mango and grapefruit and orange peel and fleshy blood orange. This is wonderful. This is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful example of they call it a Pacific pale ale. So you know, I'm going to call it a New Zealand pale ale. That's what most people kind of refer it to. But it's very good. It's very nice. So, our Pacific Pale Ale is packed with tropical fruit flavour and aroma to evoke exotic adventures. Light and juicy and extremely drinkable. Unfiltered, unfined and pasteurised. Drink fresh, serve cold. Contains water, barley, oats, gluten, hops and yeast. And their slogan is makers of true classics and unique crafted beers, brewed and numbered in small batches, handcrafted in Linton on the Cambridgeshire, Essex, Suffolk border. See, in my mind, I can't even work out where that is in the world. I know it's down there. So I live in Wales, over here, you know, Wales, Cornwall, that side. And then the other side is London, Suffolk, Norfolk, you know, all of that. I very rarely do I venture down that way. I should do. I'd love to go to Cambridge. Apparently there's a pub in Cambridge, a really old pub where one of the famous, it might have been Shakespeare or somebody, they've actually kind of like graffitied with a nail in the timber, like inscribed something in one of the old pubs. Like Shakespeare was here or something like that. I'd love to go to Cambridge to try some of the beers in some of the pubs. In fact, I'd like to go to Wylde Brewing and try some of their beers, because they're equally... I've had a couple of their beers now and they've all been top class beers. I'm going to rate this Pacific Pale Ale now. It looks good, it smells good, it tastes good. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. I love the fact that they thought really long and hard about the malt that they use. Light, crisp malts. And they've treated the water. Or I think they've treated the water. It might be just Cambridgeshire water. You never know. To produce such a fantastic drinkable pale ale. 9 out of 10. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.